makes sense. I gotta say, that makes sense. Well, damn. Well, damn. Well, there we go. Well, there we go. Can't believe it. There we go. Can't believe it. The beginning of an amazing adventure. Of an epic quest, you could say. The first stream of maybe many to come. I have yet to decide. I don't need to decide. I don't need to make choices. The only choice I'm making today. Let me check my phone. Okay, that's cool. That's nice. That's neat. That's wacky. Whatever. The only choice I need to make today are the choices concerning the Empire I'm going to play. Because today, I'm playing Stellaris. Now, Stellaris is a game that's very near and dear to my personal heart. I quite enjoy it. It's one of my favorites. It's a big favorite, you could say. You could dare say that it's a major favorite, even. Now, in essence, my goal for this Stellaris game is to focus on the narrative side of things, because that's my favorite part of it. Exploration and narrative. Adventure, you could say. Now, while I have played a lot of Stellaris, I would not consider myself a highly competitive person or a highly competitive gamer in that respect. I am the ultimate gamer, but not the competitive gamer. So I don't really play this game to be the best. I play this game to have cool adventures. And that's the side of the game that I'm going to showcase today. So, let's dive in with a new game. We're going to create an empire. I have not put much thought into the kind of empire I actually want to play, or the actual empire I want to run. Nor have I actually even put much thought into how this stream is going to function. But, regardless, we're doing it. I'm thinking I want something that will be pretty fun to have adventures with. So, let's actually start looking through some origins. Let's see. What could be a fun... I see the Rift World. See, Rift Worlds, they give you access to the astral rifts, tears in space and time, breaks in reality. I must admit, I love it. I'm highly interested in astral rifts. I think that could be very fun. Rift World will make us very likely to have a bunch of astral rifts. There are a bunch more origins available. I don't think right now I'm going to focus much on the explanation of Stellaris. I'm going to assume that if you're having a good time watching this, then you're perhaps already decently familiar with Stellaris, or you're just looking for adventure, as I have said. And that's what we're going to focus on, is some adventure. Evolutionary predators up here could be pretty fun. I quite like this origin as well. Mutating is neat. The narrative aspect of grabbing genes is pretty cool. But, you know, I don't think I necessarily need to tie myself to that. Rather, I think could be more fun to do something like Remnants. Remnants is really neat. Gives you a relic world. Dives you right into archaeo studies. I really like archaeology in this game. That's pretty fun. That's a lot of narrative and adventure. Could do that. Post-apocalyptic is pretty open in regards to whatever narrative you'd like to construct. Could be neat. But I've kind of attracted myself directly to Riftworld. I think I might do Riftworld. That's pretty fun. I think I want to have a Riftworld adventure. We're going to build the most awesome, adventurous empire of all time. It's going to be great. I really enjoy that notion. But let's see, for Riftworld, unlike many of these other ones, there are, like, no requirements on it. I can do whatever. Let's see, government and ethics or species and portrait. What am I feeling to do next? Let's do... You know what? What could be a fun people to be? Now we need to dive into the history of the people that we're going to tell the story of a nation, of an empire, rising to the stars. That's pretty sick. And if we're going to be breaking through space and time, we need a proper look, a proper purpose of being. Machines that are breaking through space and time, especially with this cube portrait, that could be really fun. However, I don't think I particularly want to do a machine run for my first ever streamed / recorded Stellaris run. While I have done many runs, this is a new world for me, and so I should probably focus on something simpler, because I feel as though my brain will fry itself. Toxoid? That's kind of funny. This is a funny little guy who totally looks like he'd be breaking through space and time. Though, I think I'm good. I'm good on that. Ooh. Aquatic. You know? I just landed on this one. And it's calling to me. I think we'll tell their story. Yeah. These, I think, will be our people. At least to start. Who knows where the adventure will take us. But alright. Now the next important part is actually designing our government and ethics. We have an idea of what we're going to look like. We're going to be freaky fish people floating in air, who are bound to space and time. How has it affected the development of our people's government? I'm kind of thinking that perhaps we're spiritually attuned to reality itself. We are bound to the fluctuations in space and time, but not from a materialist perspective, no. We do not care all that much about our research. Rather, what we rather care about is the inner world. That could be neat. Being xenophilic, I feel like could also be pretty fitting. As, we're tearing through space and time, we're developing our care for other people, and our curiosity, perhaps. Perhaps we interpret that as curiosity, that we'll dive into. I feel as though our perspectives on authority, egalitarianism versus authoritarianism, I anticipate them being rather skewed. Or rather, maybe not skewed. No, we are neutral. We are focused on our grand designs of connecting with the greater world, or rather, the greater existences beyond us. So to that end, we're not really very focused on our own internal development. So perhaps ignoring egalitarian and authoritarian is fitting. Xenophobic could perhaps tell a story of a people who are unified, brought together by the grand sense of adventure found in a split in space and time, but then realizing that that is completely terrifying and that there are disgusting xenos beyond, that perhaps we want to close ourselves off. Could be neat. I think I'm going to steer clear of that, though. I think it's more fun to lean away from xenophobia. But perhaps it has made us militaristic. Maybe our people desire strength, the weaponry and technology in order to ford the metaphorical rivers of space and time. If we're not going to focus on the materialistic aspect, maybe we'll focus on the militaristic aspect. Maybe we're combat-oriented. Or maybe it's not even necessarily influenced by our connection to space-time. You know, we could also be pacifistic. We could lean into being more hippie style, you know? In our kumbaya, peace-loving sense, in our esoteric connection to the vastness of the world. We say, hey, we eschew violence. We do not need that. Violence is not for us. Now you may be watching this, listening to this, the main ramblings of a singular individual. You may be thinking, hey, This is nonsense. This is utter nonsense, and this is taking a long time. And that's correct. But you gotta learn how to chill. I think that's the message I want to deliver to the vastness of the world through this adventure, through this foray into streaming, to video content creation. Is how to chill. I am personally always chilling. So to that end, I think I will lean into that for our first ever adventure. We're gonna say, hey, we're totally gonna be spiritualists. We're gonna be super chill spiritualists. And we're gonna be pacifists. Now, we could dive into some fanaticism. Perhaps we are driven by an obsession with the space-time. You know, as soon as I say that, I think I'm kind of liking it. I was thinking of perhaps going pacifist, xenophilic, spiritualist, a mix, a splattering of different senses, of different personality types. But rather, I think what we'll do is we'll be fanatic spiritualists and have an obsession with space-time. But we are a peaceful people. We are calm, we are rational, but we are driven. So to that end, if we are calm, rational, and driven, we are in need of powerful leaders. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I don't think we have a strong inkling or inclination towards either egalitarianism or authoritarianism. As fanatic spiritualists who are very chill-coded, perhaps we are personally leaning more towards freedoms. Or perhaps at times we see the value in hierarchy. I think it will take our explorations into the vastness of the cosmos to really flesh out our perspective on these things. So to that end, perhaps we will go in between. We are not going to be fully democratic, but we also won't be fully dictatorial or imperial. We will be oligarchic. We will have a small council of elite individuals who we put in charge, who we trust to guide our future, our path. Oh boy. Okay. Now then, our civics. What do we want to be? Ascensionists is pretty cool. Let me just scroll through these and see if any of them particularly speak. Oh, hello there, dimensional worship. It's almost like you're perfect. Yes, we will have that dimensional worship. We're gonna have even more astral rifts. We'll have dimensional shrines. We worship space-time itself, the divinity beyond it, perhaps. Let's see. Dark Consortium could be kind of interesting. But maybe we lean away from the darkness. Fire! A baptism by fire could be pretty neat. Forging a planet. Also pretty neat. Superstition. That would be very fascinating given our nature as very fanatic individuals bound to space-time. You know, I kind of like it. We're reading the fluctuations in reality, maybe? Yeah, let's go with it. So we will be fanatic spiritualists, pacifists. We have an oligarchy ruling over us, with our focuses, our internal focuses being dimensional worship, and superstitious beliefs. The Rift World origin will guide us, and now our traits. We get to start picking out what our species will truly look like. I think that's fun. Alright, so I actually think I want to start with a negative trait. And let's see, amongst these, I'm kind of feeling no, I don't think repugnant. Non-adaptive could be funny. I think that in our species development, one thing that has influenced our pacifistic tendencies and our worship to the stars beyond is that we are naturally physically weak. I think that could be fun. Let's see now. I think that we don't necessarily want to be sedentary. We want to be a people that are open, that are interested in the travel across the worlds. So... Time is fleeting. I like it. You will also be fleeting. Several interesting options in regards to the positive traits we want to apply to our species. And I'm thinking... I wonder... Oh, interesting. Did our wacky, funny... Huh. Okay. It seems our stream just went down. Great. We love network issues. Now that's fine. That's cool. We'll figure that out. Wonder why I disconnected. You know what? We're expecting some scuff, as they say, and we're expecting things to break. So we are in the midst of trying things out for the first time. That's okay. That's how things go. Well, you know what? I think it's all right. We'll live with it. I do wonder, though, whatever happened. Well, I could fiddle with it, or I can follow in the course of chill, not worry about it. But ideally, I would like this to be persistent. It would be unfortunate for this to drop. We're recording, so that's okay. Right, let's see here. Let's see what's going on. That's okay. So that's not the problem. Huh. Let's see. Just broke everything for a second there. That's cool. Well, that's fine. It's all good to break everything. That doesn't really matter all that much. Let's see here. Hey, look at that. We're back. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I did it. I fixed it all by myself. I did it. I fixed it all by myself. I did it. I fixed it all by myself. Oh god. I'm matching my own screen. No, it's fine. It's cool. It's not a problem at all. Alright. Okay, we're back. But we never left at the same time because I was recording this entire thing. See, I thought of that ahead of time. I'm a genius, you see. Now, regardless, during that entire time when I was bloviating, wasting time, trying to figure out what was going on while my first ever stream was being broken by who was trying to take me down, I was considering the path that I want to take for our positive traits, and I think to balance out the fact that our species is naturally weak, perhaps we are also naturally intelligent. Our cognition is great. Our neurons are constantly firing. I think that's cool. Now we have 2 trait points left and 2 trait picks left. We could dive into a bit more negativity if we want a high level positive. But I think that being intelligent and adaptive will be very fitting. I think our species, while weak, has the capacity to change, primarily in their physical adaptations. They rapidly evolve. Maybe that will lean eventually into our destiny, where we ascend as a species. But rather, I think that may have influenced our interest in exploring space-time, as we are very adaptive. Alright, name lists. This is very simple. I don't know what to name. I think we will lean into our aquatic nature. We are not very piratey. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Let's see. I think we will go with this one. Aquatic 1, ship prefix. Let's do VOR. There's the beginning of vortex, similar to rift. It also gives the implication of a whirlpool. Watery, like our aquatic nature. VOR. Vor. Wait a minute. I don't want to name myself after Vor. Text. We'll just use the full thing. There we go. Much nicer. Okay, species name. You know, after all the talking I've done, I still haven't actually properly considered what I want my species to be called. Huh. Suppose there's a few things to consider. There is our nature as aquatic beings. We're very, kind of serpent-like. We're clearly very abyssal. We're at the bottom of the sea. There's a lot of bioluminescence to our body. But there's also very dark coloration. We're kind of, we're almost chthonic in nature, you know? You can see those feelers, antennae, small eyes, big crest. These gnashing claws, it almost looks like. Let's kind of lean into that abyssal nature, chthonic nature. We don't really want to come across as super evil or eldritch or anything like that. Perhaps a little arcane at most. I think that's neat, being our arcane species. Very fitting for our dimensional worship of power over the dimensions in space-time. Now, should our species name reflect our connection to the space-time continuum? It could. But I think we have named ourselves before we discovered our interest in that. It should more tie to our origin, original origin as a singular planet with a mysterious tear above it. Okay. Will be Pelagion. Eon? Pelagion. We'll do that. Kind of, abysso-pelagic, you know? Leaning into that. Pelagion, I think, still works as the plural. And for adjective, Pelagion still fine. I think our species will have the capacity to express all forms of gender. Perhaps, let's see. Indeterminate could be interesting, but no. It is rather tempting to type out a biography here, but I think I'll pass on that for now, as we will craft our biography over the course of our adventure. But our empire does need a name. We are a spacefaring empire, after all, even if our focus is not necessarily on conquest, but rather exploring the space-time continuum. I think this is where will properly lean into our nature as rift-bound beings who worship the dimensional folds themselves. As fanatic spiritualists, we should perhaps lean into our spiritual nature in our empire name. Additionally, maybe we should emphasize that we are an oligarchy. Perhaps we are a diet, a council, a parliament. Not a vast parliament, not one that is representative of its people, necessarily. Perhaps people still cast votes, but those votes aren't necessarily fully taken into consideration, but rather just suggestions. We have yet to fully decide the path of our authority, and are limiting ourselves to the expertise of several counselors. Okay. So we will be the Sacred Council of what? We are the Sacred Council. This is where we'll kind of express our intentions, our desires. We want ourselves to be capable of breaching reality itself. We will be the Sacred Council of the Immaterial. As we are fanatic spiritualists, we are not so concerned with the material. In fact, we are very intently unconcerned. Our empire adjective, we could go sacred, we could go counselor. I think I like immaterial. Now, it will make us kind of sound non-existent. We are immaterial, we barely matter. But I think that perspective might help define us. It's kind of neat. I like it. Alrighty then. Next up, Homeworld. Now, being aquatic, it feels only fitting. Now, if we go to our traits, I did just think about it. We could give ourselves the actual aquatic trait. If we are going to lean into the fact that we are Pelagions, we are deep abyssal creatures. And sure, why not? Why not? Maybe instead of intelligent, we go with aquatic. I think we need to go ahead and give ourselves, we have to leave out an ocean word, which is fine. I like it. And we will be aquatic. Which will mean that we will have some penalties on non-wet worlds, but I think that's okay. We are very adaptive. And space itself shall be our aquatic cradle. It is a bit of a shame that we are moving away from our grand intelligence, but perhaps we'll develop that later. Now, the name of our world could be fun. We live on vast oceans. I like to think that much of our species actually lives in the depths. But we took to the surface to better, let's say, appreciate the great rift above us. To that end, we should perhaps name our planet something that really reflects our development as a species, our rise from the depths up to beyond, to the stars, beyond the stars. This is our birthing ground, our cradle, our nursery. Very aquatic. Could go like amniotic, but I think that's a little... I think that's getting a little too biological. A little too mammalian. Yeah, I don't think we necessarily want to name our planet after eggs or reproductive organs. Seems unpleasant. Gonna claim that. Unpleasant. So, how about we name our planet something grand, something vast, something expressive? Rise? Could it be as simple as just rise? Something inspirational, something that is pulling us upwards from the depths. There we are. That'll be it. Aspiration. Kind of sounds like respiration as well. Kind of got some interest in our nature as fish beings. I like it. Now, if our home world, will we call it aspiration, our star. The light that provides us our essence, that has brought us to the surface, that shines upon us. Based on the bioluminescent nature of our portrait, perhaps our species evolved in very low light qualities. We did not experience the full nature of the sun. Perhaps our star is somewhat new to us. It's a representative piece. I like that. Yeah, it's an aspect of ourselves that represents our development into a brighter future. So to that end, I think, honestly, brighter future? A little on the nose. Our homeworld's already going to be called aspiration. We can keep workshopping it. Let's see. Oh boy. No, I don't think that's very interesting. Since we're going to have a trinary starting system, we aren't exactly going to have... We aren't going to know what our star is. We're not going to have a singular star. That's actually interesting. 3 stars. Naming one of them. That one star will kind of be our definitive beacon. The main call sign of our system. So... We want it secondary to our grand rift. Our lovely rift that we will worship, the dimensions beyond. That will be what we really lean into. So to that end, I think something ancillary, something inspirational, something new. Okay, I'm struck with inspiration, but I'm not calling the star inspiration. No, not even slightly. Rather, I think what we'll do... Essence. I think it's a very simple name. I think it's an encapsulation. I think being somewhat, what's the word, laconic? Well, not necessarily laconic, but, planet, one word. Star, one word. Essence. And it's a representation as we rose from our oceans, came to understand the cosmos that we're in, this system that we find ourselves in. At its core, that light is its essence. And that is what we seek beyond the dimensional rift. Now then, from here, I think we can just have some fun. Let's see. I think an aquatic city is, of course, very fitting for our oceanic world. A room that our little ruler will be in. Let's see, I think this is more of a necroid portrait, but it's kind of cool. Its glow gives off the same kind of bioluminescent vibes as our overall species. So I think I'll go with it. It also is, kind of looks like a cloistered hallway. It's kind of, monastery-like. I don't know. I think it's neat. Advisor voice, one of my favorites. I think that we should listen...
Faith manages.
...to a spiritualist voice. I think that's fitting. Our flag. Now, our flag is obviously going to need to have a grand shade of blue. Perhaps this one. Its overall shape. Oh, hello! Fanatic purifiers are very fun. I do agree. However, our goal today, our goal overall, is to be chill. We want to be buddies. We're building a narrative adventure. And to that end, all we really want to do is worship the stars themselves. So we're going to do some dimensional worship. We're going to be a grand rift world. I'm thinking for our flag, I kind of like this. Want something representative of our rise. This one's pretty neat. We want a cool symbol. We don't want to be a pirate. This is kind of neat. Could be ornate. Could just go with an aquatic symbol. An anchor? Yeah, sure, why not? Actually, now that I say it out loud, we don't want to anchor ourselves, literally. So let's do this guy. It's kind of cool. Looks like a squid. Alright, secondary colors. I don't think we necessarily want to do black, even though black is one of my personal favorite colors, and I think it meshes with many as well, with different colors. We kind of want to lean into our dimensional nature, our spiritualists. Oh, that's a really neat idea. Yeah, like a Civ 5 or Civ 4 game before Stellaris. I'll have to try that sometime. Purple. Yes, I think purple would be our Empire's colors. Blue and purple. Chipsets. Do we want to go biological or mechanical? I think given that our Grand Empire is going to be very obsessed with diving into different dimensions, kind of feeling mechanical. And it's hard to go wrong with some aquatic ships. Very blue and bright. Very pleasant. Now our ruler. They are just going to be our first ruler. They will be the ones to usher us into the stars, to our first feel of really diving into the dimensions. Oh, kind of like this variant here. That's nice. I think they'll be an official. And the kind of person who would take our people from the depths of the ocean out to the dimensions beyond probably has an eye for talent. Given that we're oligarchic right now, a simple council of divine individuals, I think that's very fitting. Alright, so looking at our people overall, what do we have here? We are a dimensional covenant. We are oligarchic. Our focuses are civics, or dimensional worship, and superstitious beliefs. We are going to be having an adventure with a grand council of people who really seek to explore space-time, to worship space-time itself. We are very fanatically bound to that belief, but we also have developed a pacifistic tendency, as our species is very naturally weak and fleeting. Physically, we do not live long, and the life we live is one of struggle, of tenuous strain, but we make up for that in our adaptive nature. We can survive in many different climates, especially our grand oceans and wet worlds. We are the Pelagions of the Sacred Council of the Immaterial, living upon aspiration, where a massive rift now looms. Yes, I'm quite happy with this. So now we must design our overall galaxy. It is really fun. However, I preferred Civ 4 since it feels more like Stellaris to me.
Yeah, I can feel that. When I played Civ 4 for a while, I definitely really appreciated many of its aspects that are kind of more discovery focused. Kind of liked some of the simplicity that existed in it as compared to Civ 5. Though I do enjoy both quite a bit. I'm not particularly good at either of them, but I like them. Let's see. So, last time I played, I was playing on Commodore. I think for a chill narrative adventure, we still want some degree of struggle with the amount of experience I have in Stellaris. Even if I'm going real easy, we still want some aspects of the AI having some advantage. So I think I'll go Captain. I do really like the global view of Civ 4, you're so right. It's so good. Let's see, galaxy shape. I don't really have any strong opinions on which one I desire. I'm thinking... cool spiral. I like a spiral. I do love a huge galaxy. I think it'll lean very well into our narrative adventure. Give us a lot of opportunities to explore, to discover things. Let's see. I like randomizing the amounts of things we're gonna have. Shouldn't matter too much for this adventure, but, you know, we'll see. Any modifications I want to make here? Let's see. We'll have all the precursors available. Standard game length. Let's see. Marauders, Alligates, Caravanneers. Yeah, I think all these defaults are fine. I don't think I necessarily want to increase the frequency of anything. We'll just see where the game takes us, where adventure guides us. Let's see. Oh boy. Wow, I've already gone 40 minutes on my very first stream. I'm doing so good. I haven't broken everything yet. Let's go. Now, the majority of this has been our first time diving in. So I'm not sure exactly how much longer I'm going to stream right now. This is a bit of a test. But I think it's going well. We'll see how it handles. But we will at least take a look at our starting everything. So, for as long as we can remember, the Great Rift has loomed in the skies above aspiration. Legends propose that our past is intimately entwined with this mysterious celestial scar in an ancient impact site near our capital. For generations, the site was revered, but little understood. However, recent seismic activity has uncovered subsurface anomalies in the crater. Preparations are already underway to drill into its core. Opinions remain divided on what we may discover there. Is it simple coincidence that this has occurred at the advent of hyperdrive technology? Just as we reach for the heavens, our attention is pulled back to the ground. Perhaps what lies, bit of a typo there, beneath the surface of this world is meant to aid us on our journey to the stars. Perhaps it can prepare us for whatever lies beyond the rift. Man, that's gonna be a fun narrative beat. To begin! A seismic anomaly has been detected. Recent seismic activity has revealed unexpected features of the ancient impact site near our capital. This specific crater has been linked to our very origin as Pelagion. Fascinating. We get to start with an ancient crater archaeology site. Oh, let's see. Yes, perfect. We have essence. We have stars. Within the galaxy itself. We're actually pretty close to the center. That's pretty neat. We've got some ocean worlds nearby. Let's take a look at our council. Our head of research, Pebble Green. Our first ascendant, Sandra Puppet, who has guided us to the stars. Very spiritualist. In fact, our entire council is very spiritualist. That's super fitting. I think overall our empire should lean primarily spiritualist. I think that's the most fitting currently for our narrative, but we'll see where our story takes us. Saren Gush, our Minister of Defense. We have Anne Wavemaker, our Minister of State. Currently they're working on infinite opportunities, though personally, whenever playing, I think I like to start with expanding the council, and I think that'll be fitting. We want to expand our government to properly handle our newfound path to the stars. So we will switch this to expanding the council. Let's see, factions, we currently have none. We could look and see that 25% of our population currently, actually, we expect 25, but actually 58% of our pops currently embrace pacifism. Only 41% embrace spiritualism. That's really interesting. It seems, fittingly, because much of our population is weak, they are leaning towards pacifism. Now our policies. Currently, we have galactic dowsing initiated because of our obsession or superstitions surrounding the fluctuations of space-time. We don't currently have the unity to do any more edicts right now. Looking at our policies, we are of the expansionist diplomatic stance. I think that's very fitting. Our war philosophy, currently liberation wars. I think we'll stick with that for now. We're not fanatically pacifistic. We believe in perhaps defending ourselves. Perhaps in our species evolution we are weak, but we recognize that we must be ready to defend ourselves, and though we aren't necessarily limiting ourselves solely to defense, maybe we're ready to help others should we ever discover others. Benevolent vassalage seems very fitting for us. We're not necessarily looking to be oppressive, though we're not fully ethically opposed to it either, as we've established. We are between egalitarianism and authoritarianism, but we'll stick with benevolent vassalage for now, and maybe that'll change in the future. Orbital bombardment, since we are pacifistic, we will have to be selective. We will, of course, allow surrender. We're not looking to slaughter wholesale. Resettlement, we'll say that's allowed for now. We do exert a bit of control over our population. First contact protocol, I think, given that we are obsessed with worshipping the dimensions themselves, we will want to be proactive in meeting others. To that end, we'll keep our borders open. Let's see. It could be interesting to impose some restrictions upon our research, but given that we are worshipping dimensions and that would lower our chance for rare technology, I think for now we don't want to restrict ourselves. We'll have a mixed economy. Yeah, I think that's good. Trade policy. Wealth creation's our only option. Currently we're outlawing robotic workers. Though we don't have the technology to make it work regardless, being fanatic spiritualists, naturally our people will lean towards the fact that since we believe that there is an inherent purpose and inherent value to life itself, that automatons are a blaspheme upon that. I'm not sure how our species will feel about robots moving forward, but for now they will start out outlawed. Let's see, population controls. Could be interesting. I think we'll allow it for now and discover how we feel about it in the future. Let's see, we are neither xenophobic or authoritarian. We are not signatories. We are not allowing slaves. Purging. Just displacement. But we are allowing ourselves to purge, should we desire. Looking at our situation log, currently we just have our ancient crater and the mysterious astral rift. Our empire focus will be exploration, which is very fitting. We don't know of any anomalies. Technology! What is Pebble Breen going to start out researching? Let's see. Of the technologies that we want to dive into early on, I'm thinking that we are looking to expand our research. We want to learn more about the dimensions, so we will go ahead and start learning about these zero-G laboratories. Next up, for society, We've been given some pretty militaristic options, so I think planetary unification would be very fitting. It's about time that we properly fully unified, closed down any sort of nations in conflict, ancient warring tribes, historical nations in conflict, now unified in empire. You must not, will not crumble. We want that bonus unity also. We are very spiritualists. We'll lean into that direction. Engineering. I think, given that we are a very weak populace, it is fitting for us to want to develop some countermeasure early. So let's get to technology for some powered exoskeletons. That seems fun. Let's see. We do have some interesting leaders for hire. We'll worry about that a bit later. Here's our species, currently 4,800 strong, living upon an ocean. Planets and sectors, fleet management, about a single fleet. A collection of corvettes. We don't know anybody, we've made no discoveries, we have no claims, no market. Aspiration, our planet. Let's see. Currently, we have administration and luxury residences. There are 3,300 spare denizens on this planet. No current jobs are available. We have some civilian industries and some temples. We have some blockers in the form of sprawling slums, industrial wastelands. Oops. Economically, our elites are high astrologists. Oh, did you notice that Civ 4 allows you to rename your empire? You know, I never realized that. Or maybe I did. It has been a while since I last played Civ 4. But that's a good point. Man, got me wanting to play some Civ 4 again. Let's see. So our high astrologists, with the stars as their guide, these mystical leaders guide the spiritual institutions of the Empire. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with picking our superstitious beliefs. That seems very fitting for what we're aiming for. And our spirit mediums as well, we're performing arcane rites and rituals. These adepts communicate with entities beyond ordinary perception, providing mystical insight to the masses. Really, Civ 6 has no renaming. I actually haven't played Civ 6 myself. As I understand, I think there is some unhappiness with most recent Civ moves. And I think of the people who have played Civ 6 in particular that I know, most of them prefer Civ 5 or Civ 4. Civ 6 seems cool, I think. I always like me some strategy games. Let's see, we've got some armies set up, that's cool. Let's see, so we're currently in the cycle of prosperity for the next 13 years. We are gaining some bonus trade, energy credits, our ships are a bit stronger, though we're going to be moving slower and things are a bit more expensive. Expanding is going to be tricky. That's a bit of a shame, but that's alright. So, we should head out and explore. As tempting as it would be to go ahead and dive into this archaeological site, I think I'll send our Sapphire Maw, currently championed by Pebble Breen, our head of research, up north. Our construction ship here. I think we'll just go ahead and start building out some of these resources we have yet to claim. Now, shipyard, we have our dimensional shrine producing us a good amount of unity. Solar panel network. Unfortunately, that does mean we don't have any crew quarters. Well, it's neat to know that you enjoy Civ 4 and Civ 5. Civ 6 art style, from what I've seen, I think, yeah, it wouldn't necessarily be my favorite either, though. I think of the art styles, I do quite like Civ 4's art style. Civ 4 is pretty sweet. Let's see. Alright. So, I think what we're going to want to do right now is let's go ahead and get another science ship going. We want to expand our research capabilities. We have no need for our military at the moment, so they can chill. But we need more jobs. Our people need to work. In particular, we're going to need some research. Right now, we're leaning towards primarily physics research. I think that's mainly thanks to our spirit mediums. Thank you, spirit mediums. But we need more research. So we will start to... We'll just chew through our money. Who needs it? You will value learning. Because learning is power. Get some research jobs queued up. Anything else that we want to queue up? Let's see. I think that should be everything. Oh, look at that. We're actually making a good amount of influence. That's fun. Now, I think where we're going to want to survey first. I want to learn about the area around us. I do like going in this direction. I'm rather curious about this black hole. I started with Civ 5, bought Civ 6, not a fan. Later on got Civ 4, which took the throne from Civ 5 as my favorite Civ for me. Really like Stellaris. Hey, that's real cool. I'm fully in agreement, generally speaking. I think I had a very similar path, though I started with Civ 4, then went to Civ 5 myself. Have yet to try out Civ 6. Don't know if I will. Maybe I will in the future. I like to keep a generally open mind and like to play lots of different types of games. And I do enjoy many different strategy games. But for now, Stellaris would be my main one. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with everything that's currently queued. We will go through a couple days. The beginning of our empire. Close these. Let's see. I normally play on either fast or fastest, but I think for now, in fitting with our narrative chill vibes, we'll start it out at normal. We kind of want to walk through the days of our life. Fortunately, we do have a lot of unity gain, so one nice thing we're going to get is pretty soon we can hire a leader. In fact, this one's very eager to get going. He does have an arrested development, meaning he's going to be learning a good bit slower. And given that our speedy species is fleeting, not exactly expecting to get very strong leaders. Elemental Reforge. No, I have not heard of Elemental Reforge. I'm pretty unfamiliar. Well, having the opportunity to go ahead and grab this guy, but I'm not using it. Yeah, you know what? Rula Weymouth, you eager scientists, welcome to the team. Would give you a shot. Oh, one thing I do want to look at is let's learn about our leaders a bit. So our first descendant, our main ruler, Senda Poppet is from the Ocean World Aspiration, where all of us would be, and she previously held the position of minor. Interesting. So our current ruler was previously someone who was in the mines, deep in the depths of the ocean. Kind of fitting, unsurprising. Our head of research used to be a metallurgist. Unsurprisingly there, our Minister of Defense was an enforcer, so someone who upkept the peace is going to keep doing that. Our Minister of State was a high astrologist. Cool. And this very eager scientist was originally an artisan. They were making luxury goods for the people, but instead they have turned to science. That's fun. Good for them. Got it. We've hired a scientist. Oh yes, since I have the Unity, let's take a look at the edicts we have available. We have a pretty good edict fund from our ruler and the fact that you're a spiritualist. And our edicts are going to be pretty cheap, so I think all of these are pretty good. We do like happiness. Let's see, although I think I want to focus on the spiritualist ethics attraction and the veneration of saints. That's pretty tempting. Do we want to increase our pacifistic ethics attraction? I think having all of these is fun. Let's have peace festivals, veneration of saints, and fortify the border all active at once. So defense of our systems is paramount. This edict will direct additional resources to these ends. Rather than focusing exclusively on this temporal world, we should provide our spiritual guides with whatever they need to prepare us for the next. And this pacifist edict fosters a spirit of unity and good cheer through whole seasons filled with special events and festivals. So now that we've really risen to our position in the stars, we are celebrating our past and our current present. Alright. Ooh, telling me about Elemental Reforge. It's a recently released 4X game. It's a fantasy 4X with a pretty decent Empire customization. A graphics art style that makes the game feel like it's from 2006. That is neat. I might have to check that out. I'm a big fan of 4X games. And I do have a bit of an itch for a fantasy 4X. Could be fun. Alright. Let us continue. It's already been a couple months of our very first year out in the stars. Bit by bit we are building. Our world is expanding. We have quite a bit of unity, so because of that, I think I actually would be happy with another scientist joining our crew. We can go ahead and look at who's available to hire. We have someone who'd be quite good at anomaly research, though they're a bit older at 41. See, our species really only expects to live to around 70 and above. Kind of unfortunate, but it's fine. I'll go ahead and hire, Boulder Cliffbreaker, or Florin Pondheath, who used to be a metallurgist. Boulder used to be a technician. I think we'll go with this previous technician to join us. They currently have nothing to do, but they soon will have their own side ship to enjoy. Let's see, we are waiting to get more minerals so we can build more stations, which is completely fine. Alright, there we go. Back, we'll just go ahead and automate that for now. We have our next science ship. You go out. Ah, here we are. The Vortex Sapphire Maw has made a startling find on Ciliato 3. The planet is teeming with alien life. For the first time in history, we've encountered life forms that did not originate on aspiration. This amazing discovery has silenced those who believed we were alone in the universe. Although none of the alien creatures found on Ciliato 3 are sapient, it is likely only a matter of time before we encounter beings that are. Isn't that exciting? We may not be alone out here. Sweet. We have found potential evidence of friends in the galaxy. Like it better than Age of Wonder 4. I tried getting Age of Wonder 4. I'm not a big fan of the trees art style, and the game felt too simple for me. You know, that is one. I don't think I own Age of Wonder 4, but I am familiar with its existence. I have been wanting to check it out. Contact reports, simple forms of life. The Sacred Council of the Immaterial is abuzz with news of the alien organisms discovered some time ago. Pelagion theologians have been partaking in arcane rites since this first sign. The divine providence extends outside of aspiration, attempting to find new answers. So, the conclusion that we can come up with will kind of dictate some of the research progress we'll gain early on. Do we feel more one with the cosmos, or the existence of life expands our understanding? Given that we are very fanatic spiritualists, and given that the narrative currently of our empire, of our species, well, that we are connected to the cosmos itself, that we are worshipping the dimensional reality that we live in, I think we are one with the cosmos. We got a permanent research option, very nice. Got 3 scientists are working. We're in the latter half of the year. Everything's kind of chugging along nicely. Let's see, one thing we might want next, if we're looking at our current resources and what's available. Alloy production would be good. First, before the end of the year, in this perfect time, we get to pick a tradition. So, this will start dictating what our empire will truly focus on. Many options here. Let's see. So, what would our people prioritize at the moment? What do they feel? What do they value? Well, though we are pacifistic and we are weak, I don't think we necessarily believe that the galaxy is vast and full of dangers. Harmony. I do like harmony. I am thinking harmony right now. Few things can match the strength of a content populace working towards a common goal. This is one I'm more leaning towards at the moment. Let's see. But fully considering the options, discovery could also be pretty interesting. After all, we want to learn more about this astral rift that has formed itself upon our planet and the mysterious crater. Our curiosity about the universe is what got us this far, and there's still so much left to discover. That's also very fitting. And I also think very fitting, given that we are an adapting species. To adapt is to survive and surpass adaptability. But I do agree, we're going to go harmony.
Council agenda available.
So we now have the agenda inner stability, and our pop-up keep is lower. So our people are going to start focusing on harmonious progress. I think that's fitting, given our research into planetary unification going on now. Oh, nice. Endless Legend 1. That sounds familiar. I don't think I've played Endless Legend 1, but it sounds so familiar. Let's see.
Construction complete.
Okay, now I know why it's familiar. I own Endless Legend, but I have yet to play it yet. Got so many games. Could play them on stream. That's exciting. Ah, yes. We've passed our first year. We have existed in space. We have research labs. Ooh, good music in Endless Legend. That's good to know. That's an exciting thing to look forward to. Let's get some more minerals so that we can get alloy foundries. Let's see, an hour stream. I think on average, from what I understand of other streamers, that's pretty short of a stream. However, for a first stream and something of a test stream as I'm starting to learn everything, I think this is a good stopping point, a year into the Empire. So let me make a save. But thank you for checking this out. Thank you for watching the stream, the VoD. I think that's the term, VoD, video on demand. And I look forward to continuing the adventure in the future. But with that, I think I will sign off. So long. You know what? I just realized. I never properly introduced myself. That's probably something I should do. I'm not going to do it, though, because I'm ending. And you're just going to have to live with the fact that I never introduced myself. That's me, the guy who didn't introduce himself. That's my power. So long. So long.